Hello and welcome to our weekly business podcast. My name is Lisa and I am welcoming guests every week who will increase our knowledge about success in business. Today's topic is all about nonverbal communication in intercultural businesses. This topic becomes more and more important to talk about since globalization and intercultural teamwork. All of us want to benefit from other cultures, ideas, values, skills, and expertise. Because none of us wants to get in a situation where you cannot close a deal because of nonverbal intercultural misunderstandings, right? And this is what we would like to address now with our guest, Elikonda Enterbay. She's an expert for intercultural communication and businesses. Welcome, Elikonda Enterbay.
Thank you for the invitation.
Which type of conflicts did you experience already in your international work because of nonverbal communication issues?
Well, there's a businessman, a friend of mine, who's attending business meetings regularly. He told me about a very complicated situation which happened a few weeks ago between Chinese suppliers and a group of purchasing managers from Italy. It all began already before the greeting. First of all, the Italians arrived late. Then the Italians hugged the Chinese business people, of course as a greeting instead of a handshake. Already at this point, the Chinese businessman seemed to be a bit upset and annoyed. Then during the meeting, the Italians made sweeping hand gestures to underline their statements and talked in a loud voice. The Chinese seemed outraged and shocked while watching the Italians stating their points. For the Italians, however, which tend to talk with their body, of course, the Chinese people appeared uninterested and bored about their discussion. Another issue came up when the opinion in the group started to differ. The Italians tried to prove that they are right, which appeared rude to the Chinese people once again. As you can guess, the meeting was not successful, and they could not close a very, very important meeting for the company.
Where comes this misunderstanding from? Can you help explain to our listeners what went wrong?
Of course. First, it is seen as very impolite to arrive late for Chinese people. Punctuality is much valued in the Mandarin-speaking nations. Secondly, Chinese people expect a handshake as a greeting. Handshakes are considered as a measure for politeness and respect. The hug is seen as a public display of affection and feels inappropriate for the Chinese business people. Also, the sweeping hand gestures and meaningful face expressions of the Italians were irritating for the Chinese. Drawing so much attention to oneself appears rude and obnoxious in China. And as the discussion went on, the Italians wanted to prove their points, which does not mean they do not accept other opinions, but for the Chinese, this behavior felt very offending.
Are there any other nonverbal communication factors which influence the meeting in a bad way?
Yes, of course. I only mentioned a few. Also, the eye contact appeared as a huge issue in this example. Eye contact for Italians means respect and understanding, so they try to keep it during the conversation. Avoiding eye contact makes them think you do not want any contact or you may be lying. But for the Chinese people, the constant eye contact is viewed as inappropriate because it can sometimes be viewed as a gesture of challenge or defiance.
How can we provide such nonverbal communication issues? What may other business people do better?
Well, we should all inform ourselves about other cultures, habits, values, and norms. A business meeting like this becomes much easier when we know how we are supposed to behave and how we must interpret the other's nonverbal communication habits.
Thank you, Elikonda Enterbay, for your great tips and advice. Hope you are listening to our next episode about leadership and teamwork. Have a great and successful day.